Have you ever felt so angry that you couldn't control yourself when someone said or did something that hurt you? Are there days when even a glance or an offhand comment feels like the world is turning its back on you in today's fast-paced, high-pressure world? It's easy to get caught in a whirlwind of negative emotions, from minor annoyances to overwhelming anger. But is there a way to remain unshaken to prevent anyone from disturbing your peace? Can we truly live a calm, untroubled life, free from the emotional grip of others? Stoicism, an ancient yet profoundly powerful school of thought, offers deep and timeless answers. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epicus, and Seneca endured harsh times, yet they maintained in tranquility through the wisdom of this philosophy. Today, we'll explore 7 practical methods to not only master your emotions, but to take full control of your soul. What I'm about to share isn't mere theory. It's drawn from the profound lessons of Stoicism, distilled into actionable insights. So stay focused and don't miss a single part, because even applying one of these methods can bring an immediate transformation to your life. Let's dive in. Number 1. Embrace willingness in life. One of the core principles of Stoicism that leads to inner peace is the wholehearted acceptance of everything that comes our way. This doesn't mean we must enjoy or agree with every situation, but rather learn to face them willingly without resistance. Marcus Aurelius in Meditations wrote, "Accept the things too which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. But do so with all your heart." This acceptance is the foundation for escaping the vicious cycle of anger and frustration. Imagine you're doing a mundane chore, like washing dishes. If you approach it reluctantly, every dish you touch becomes an internal battle. But if you approach it willingly, with gratitude, even the burden melts away. Epicus reminds us in Discourses, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well." This is the spirit of willingness, not resisting life, but flowing with it in practice. This mindset can be applied even to unpleasant situations. Take, for instance, being stuck in traffic. If you spend the entire time fuming over delays, your frustration only grows. But if you see it as an opportunity to listen to a favorite podcast or reflect on your day, the tension dissipates. When we accept situations willingly, stress loses its grip on us. A key aspect of willingness is how we define our purpose in life. Instead of chasing trivial goals, we can aim for a broader vision. Ask yourself, what is my vision? What kind of life do I want to create? Unlike personal ambitions, which often lead to temporary achievements, like ear money or acquiring possessions. A vision encompasses your entire life. Living with a grand vision makes every action voluntary, because you understand that everything good or bad contributes to your journey. By embracing the flow of life instead of resisting it, you gain a profound sense of freedom and peace. Consider volunteering when you're compelled to do something like meeting a work deadline. It often feels heavy and tedious. But when you volunteer for a cause or help a friend out of goodwill, the task feels fulfilling, even if it's challenging or unrewarding. In material terms, the difference lies in your attitude. Voluntary actions stem from a sense of control, turning "I choose to do this" into your heaven, while "I have to do this" becomes your hell. Apply this perspective to daily life. When someone says something offensive, you have 2 choices. Let it dictate your emotions and react in anger. or view it as an opportunity to practice willingness. You can tell yourself this: person is acting according to their nature, but I choose not to let it disturb. Mine. Accepting life as it unfolds doesn't mean abandoning efforts to improve yourself or your circumstances. Instead, it's recognizing that some things are beyond your control. This mindset not only alleviates pressure, but also empowers you to focus on what you can change. For instance, if you face criticism at work, see it as a chance to learn and grow rather than taking it personally. Your reaction, not the event itself, determines your peace of mind. Embracing willingness is a journey, not an overnight transformation. Start small. Accept your mistakes. View challenges as lessons and approach daily inconveniences with grace. Mastering this mindset will make you less prone to anger and external disturbances. Instead, you'll discover a resilient inner strength, enabling you to live life on your terms. Number 2, stop judging. Stop judging others. Have you ever wondered why we so easily feel anger or irritation towards others? Could it be because we frequently judge them? Think about it. How many times a day do you tell yourself this person is so annoying, or that one is completely untrustworthy? These judgments not only hurt others, but, and more importantly, burden our own souls. In Stoicism, letting go of judgment is a powerful method to free ourselves from negative emotions like anger or frustration. Humans naturally view the world through their personal lenses. When someone acts contrary to our expectations, we immediately label them. For instance, if someone drives slowly in front of you, your first thought might be, they're so stupid. But have you ever considered that they might be a new driver, or perhaps driving carefully because they have children in the car? External events don't determine our emotions the way we interpret them does. Judging others places an unnecessary emotional weight on our shoulders. Judgment isn't just a thought, it's the root of anger. Imagine you have a colleague who's often late to work. If you think they're lazy or irresponsible, your irritation will grow day by day. However, if you consider that they might be caring for a sick loved one or facing personal challenges, your perspective softens. This doesn't mean you condone their behavior, but by dropping the judgment, you shield yourself from unnecessary negative emotions. Stoicism doesn't teach us to ignore problems, but to see them more clearly. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. No one is entirely good or bad. People are a mix of actions shaped by their circumstances, and understanding reflect on a time when you didn't act your best. Perhaps you were tired, stressed, or simply having a bad day." Similarly, others' actions are rarely fixed traits in supportive environments. Even the most flawed individuals can show kindness conversely. Under pressure, anyone can falter. Picture yourself at a restaurant where a server accidentally spills water on your table. Your initial reaction might be anger. They're so careless. But if you pause and think, maybe they're having a really tough day, you'll feel much lighter. This is the power of releasing judgment. It not only frees you from discomfort, but also fosters deeper empathy for those around you. To be clear, letting go of judgment doesn't mean condoning wrongdoing. It means refusing to let others' actions dictate your emotions. You can still discern right from wrong without allowing negativity to consume your mind. As Marcus Aurelius also said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. The best response to harm is not anger, but maintaining your composure and dignity. How can we practice non-judgment? The first step is awareness. Each time you catch yourself judging someone, ask, is this thought necessary? Does it benefit me? Then try to shift your perspective. Put yourself in their shoes. What might they be experiencing that you don't know? Finally, remember that everyone is different, and these differences make life richer. Someone being unlike you doesn't mean they're wrong, nor is it worth your emotional energy. Letting go of judgment means letting go of emotional burdens. It's learning to set yourself free. Next time someone irritates you, pause, take a deep breath, ask yourself, is this feeling worth it? You'll find that by viewing situations with empathy and understanding, you're not only kinder to others, but also to yourself ultimately. Ask yourself this: do you want to hold on to anger, or do you want to live a life of freedom and peace? The choice is always yours. Number 3, let go of control. When you stop judging others, you let go of control. Uncover a profound truth. Much of our frustration and anger stems from expecting others to act according to our desires, yet the world doesn't operate that way. People, with all their complexities, act based on their own reasons, often beyond our. Understanding this leads us to a bigger question. Do we truly need to control everything to find peace, or does peace come from letting go? This is the core spirit of Stoicism. Rather than wasting energy trying to change the uncontrollable, learn to accept it and free yourself from unnecessary burdens. While you cannot dictate life, you can always choose how to respond to what life brings. Imagine driving during rush hour. Traffic is jammed, car horns blare from all directions, and you're on the brink of being late. Anger rises as you think, why do people drive like this? Why can't traffic ever improve? But the reality is, you can. But change how others drive, or make the roads clear. The only thing you can control is your mindset and reaction. You can choose to be upset, or you can take a deep breath and accept that some things are simply out of your hands. This might sound simple, but letting go of the need for control can transform your life. A mother may constantly worry about her child's grades, but she cannot take their tests or force success. An employee might be frustrated by a boss's unreasonable decisions, yet they cannot control their boss's thoughts or actions. Negative emotions often arise from placing high expectations on things beyond our power. When reality falls short, disappointment sets in. I once knew a passionate young entrepreneur who spent years building a tech company hoping to revolutionize an industry. However, when the product launched, market feedback was disappointing. Frustrated, he blamed customers for not understanding its value and suspected sabotage by competitors. These emotions trapped him in bitterness and helplessness. During a conversation, I suggested focusing on what he could improve instead of fixating on uncontrollable factors. This shift opened a new perspective. He stopped blaming others, refined his product, adjusted his strategy, and embraced the patient success demands. By letting go of what was beyond his control, he felt lighter, more creative, and eventually achieved greater success than expected. Stoicism not only reshapes how we perceive challenges, but also urges us to ask ourselves during stressful moments, is this within my control? Am I wasting energy on the unchangeable? Is my reaction improving the situation or worsening it? These simple questions are powerful tools to free yourself from negativity. Letting go of control doesn't mean surrendering or being passive. It requires focusing on what you can truly influence: your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Picture rowing a boat down a river. You cannot stop the current, but you can steer your boat effectively to navigate its flow. A practical Stoic exercise is premeditatio malorum, anticipating adversity before starting your day. Take a moment to imagine what might go wrong. Plans getting cancelled, colleagues making mistakes, or bad weather. Preparing for these scenarios makes them easier to accept when they happen. Ultimately, letting go is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful liberation. When you stop clinging to what's beyond your grasp, you'll experience an extraordinary sense of peace. Start small. Don't try to change others' opinions, dwell on the past, or hold on to the unhold. Life flows like a river, and when you learn to move with its current, you'll find the peace you've been seeking, all along number 4. Embrace imperfection in the Embrace imperfection in the world. In life, none of us can avoid moments of frustration or even anger when others don't behave as we expect. But have you ever asked yourself, why do we expect perfection from the world and the people around us? Stoicism teaches that the demand for perfection is an illusion, and that illusion is the root of much suffering. Understanding that imperfection is the essence of the world is the first step to freeing yourself from the negative emotions caused by others. Think about this. Have you ever been disappointed because a colleague didn't complete their task properly, affecting your work, or felt upset when a friend broke a promise or a family member said something hurtful? Such situations are common. But is it realistic to expect everyone to be flawless? Epicus reminds us it is not. Events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them, anger and frustration don't stem from others' actions, but from how we interpret them. The chaotic, imperfect world doesn't need to change to please you. What needs to change is how you perceive it. Take a specific example. Imagine you prepared meticulously for an important presentation, but at the last minute, a colleague responsible for supporting materials made mistakes or omissions, seemingly ruining your effort. Frustration is natural. You might think, why were they so careless when I tried so hard? But viewed through a Stoic lens, you'll see that their mistake is beyond your control. Anger only worsens the situation instead of blaming them. You could ask, what can I do now to salvage this? By accepting imperfection, you not only remain calm, but also find solutions more effectively. Stoicism emphasizes focusing on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil." Starting your day with the mindset that imperfection is inevitable prepares you to face challenges with resilience. This isn't pessimism, it's realism, allowing you to navigate difficulties with a steady mind in everyday moments. Embracing imperfection can transform your reactions when someone breaks a promise instead of anger. Remind yourself they are human and might be dealing with unseen struggles. If you feel misunderstood, stay calm and seek clarity rather than jumping to conclusions. Perhaps they didn't intend to hurt you, but simply didn't understand your perspective. And when faced with rudeness or criticism, ask yourself, does this truly harm me, or is it my interpretation making me feel hurt? Accepting imperfection doesn't mean giving up on improving yourself or the world. On the contrary, it liberates you when you stop demanding that others act as you wish. You free yourself from disappointment and can focus on what truly matters. For example, in relationships, we often expect our partner to understand us perfectly. But the truth is, even those who love you most can't always read your emotions or needs instead of blaming them. Ask, can I communicate more clearly to foster mutual understanding? This approach not only alleviates dissatisfaction, but also builds empathy. When you truly accept the world's imperfections, you'll find joy in its flaws. A careless coworker, an inconsiderate friend, or even a rude stranger becomes an opportunity to practice patience and compassion. Ask yourself, have I ever made mistakes? If I want forgiveness from others, why can't I forgive them? This perspective reminds you that everyone, including you, is doing their best. As Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Courage to face imperfection is not just a sign of compassion, but a path to inner freedom. Life doesn't have to be perfect for you to find happiness. When you stop expecting perfection from others or the world, you release yourself from the burden of anger. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By letting such thoughts guide you, you'll discover peace amid the chaos." This isn't about compromising with imperfection. It's the art of living. Number 5. Take responsibility for your feelings. Feelings. When we learn to accept the imperfections of the world, a new door opens, a door leading inward to our own inner self. The world may be chaotic, people may fall short of our expectations, and things rarely go as planned, but must. These realities trouble us. Accepting external imperfections is one thing, but the more profound challenge lies in learning to control our emotions in the face of what we cannot change. This raises a fundamental question. Who is responsible for your emotions, you or the circumstances beyond your control? Stoicism compels us to confront this truth. Imagine standing in a long supermarket queue on a busy weekend, surrounded by impatience. Suddenly, someone cuts in front of you without so much as an apology or a glance back. Instantly, irritation rises. You feel disrespected. You could respond by voicing your anger, grumbling under your breath, or carrying that resentment for the rest of the day. But there is another choice. You can pause and ask yourself, is this person's action truly worth sacrificing my peace? They may be wrong, but my emotions are mine. Why should I let them dictate how I feel? If you choose calmness, a remarkable thing happens. The irritation fades. The person might remain oblivious to their rudeness, but their actions no longer hold power over you unless you allow them to. The queue might be slightly longer, but your inner peace remains intact. That seemingly trivial incident becomes just another minor moment in your day, rather than the spark for a cascade of negative emotions. When you reclaim control of your emotions, life becomes much lighter. In our daily lives, we often unknowingly hand control of our emotions to others. When someone insults, criticizes, or ignores you, the instinctive response is to feel hurt, angry, or dejected. But ask yourself, why? Let another person's words or actions dictate your mood. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, emperor of Rome, wisely observed, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His words remind us of a profound truth. While we cannot control others, we can always choose how to react to them. Consider a time when you were unfairly criticized at work. Anger and frustration may have felt inevitable. But what if you reminded yourself that your worth isn't determined by others' opinions? By reframing your reaction, you would free yourself from their influence over your emotions. But how do we achieve this? Start by practicing the power of pause when faced with an upsetting situation. Ask yourself, am I overreacting? Is this worth losing my peace? A brief pause. Create space between the trigger and your response, giving you the opportunity to choose calm over chaos. Another effective method is keeping a journal of your emotions, a practice rooted in Stoicism. Each evening, take a few minutes to reflect. What upset you today? How did you react? Could you have responded differently over time? This habit helps you identify emotional patterns and build the discipline to manage them. Taking responsibility for your emotions is the key to a more tranquil life. No one can make you angry or upset unless you allow it. Marcus Aurelius also wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." His words remind us that emotions are our possession, not someone else's. Protect your peace, and you'll find that nothing can truly disturb your spirit. Do you resonate with this perspective? If so, don't hesitate to like and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories and reflections. And if you see things differently, share your viewpoint. It might spark a meaningful and enriching discussion for everyone. Let's continue to his journey together with the next music lesson, number 6, practice. Practice non-reaction. Non-reaction. In life, unexpected moments often catch us off guard. A colleague openly criticizes you during a meeting. A stranger cuts in line while you've been waiting patiently. Or perhaps someone throws a sharp remark your way, leaving you feeling offended. These small incidents, though seemingly trivial, can disrupt your mood, stirring anger and frustration. But is there a way to overcome these negative emotions and maintain composure in the face of others' actions? The answer lies in mastering the art of non-reaction. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it." That matters. Reflecting on this truth reveals that your emotions stem not from others' actions, but from how you interpret them. Imagine being publicly criticized in a meeting. Your initial reaction might be irritation or embarrassment at being called out in front of everyone. You may feel compelled to defend yourself or retaliate to restore your dignity. But pause for a moment instead of reacting. Immediately ask yourself, why should I let these words dictate how I feel? That colleagues' hasty behavior doesn't define your worth or abilities. It merely reflects their state of mind at that moment. By choosing not to react, you safeguard your calmness and maintain professionalism in front of others. Consider an alternative approach. Respond with composure, perhaps by smiling and saying, "Thank you for your feedback. I'll address that after presenting my ideas." That single moment of calm grants you control over the situation. The colleague, rather than being met with hostility, is disarmed by your poise, and you, rather than succumbing to negativity, leave the meeting with confidence and a sense of peace. Seneca wisely advised the greatest remedy for anger is delay. One of the best ways to master non-reaction is to give yourself a pause when insulted. Resist the urge to respond. Immediately instead, take a deep breath and reflect. For example, if a colleague sends a critical email, delay your response by an hour or even a day. This allows you to approach the matter with clarity and respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally. Sometimes silence is the most powerful response. Choosing not to retaliate not only protects your peace, but also prevents others from controlling your emotions. As the saying goes, if a donkey kicks you and you kick back, you are both donkeys. This parable reminds us that reacting to negativity with negativity only lowers us to the same level. Silence doesn't signify weakness. Rather, it reflects inner strength. the power to rise above the need for immediate retaliation. Picture a heated argument where every word fuels the fire of anger. If one side suddenly stops engaging, the flames inevitably die. Down the one who chooses silence emerges as the true victor, having mastered their emotions and preserved their peace of mind. Reflect for a moment. When was the last time you lost your temper over something trivial? Was that anger truly worth sacrificing your tranquility? If you could go back, how would you respond differently? These questions encourage introspection and daily self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius profoundly noted, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment, recognizing that you control your reactions owes you to navigate life with greater ease." Non-reaction doesn't mean passively accepting everything. It means discerning what truly deserves your attention and energy. By practicing non-reaction, you not only master your emotions, but also safeguard the peace within your soul. Remind yourself daily that while you cannot control others' actions, you can always control your response. Calmness, silence, and an unshaken heart are your greatest weapons in this chaotic world. And this is the essence of Stoicism. Number 7. Find joy in selflessness. Selflessness. When we learn to remain calm and avoid reacting hastily to life's events, our soul gradually becomes lighter. The things that once angered or disturbed us turn into mere ripples in the flow of life. And when our hearts are no longer edged with resentment or frustration, a new space emerges, a space to love, to empathize, and to give. In this transformation, we discover a profound joy, the joy of understanding that at times the best way to protect our peace is to forgive. This journey is one where the mind finds tranquility and the heart opens wider than ever. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." These words serve as a gentle reminder of life's blessings. Each morning offers us a new chance to love, to help others, and to live with a heart more open than the day before. Forgiveness seen through the lens of Marcus Aurelius is neither distant nor difficult. It's simply a way to recognize that helping others brings joy not just to them, but also to ourselves. I recall a story about a friend who worked in a high-pressure environment. He was frequently criticized, sometimes unfairly, by colleagues. Yet instead of reacting with anger, he chose to listen and ask himself, "Are they going through something I don't know about?" One day, he discovered that a particularly critical colleague was facing significant financial struggles. This understanding changed his perspective entirely. Instead of retaliating, he remained silent, listened, and even offered help when possible. The result, not only did their relationship improve, but the workplace atmosphere became less tense as well. In families, minor disagreements can easily escalate into major arguments. Imagine having a relative who constantly criticizes you no matter what you do. Their words may deeply hurt, but remember, their criticism often stems from their own insecurities or pain, not from you. When you understand this, anger loses its power. Choosing forgiveness does mean accepting wrong behavior. It means refusing to let it control your emotions. Anger often arises from expectations. We expect others to behave in ways we deem correct, but the world is imperfect and everyone carries unseen burdens. Recognizing this can dissolve expectations, and when expectations fade, anger has no reason to exist. The beauty of forgiveness is that it not only helps us overcome anger, but also brings genuine joy and relief. Recall a time when you helped someone without expecting anything in return. How did it feel? Likely peaceful and deeply meaningful. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Practicing forgiveness is not only about giving, but also about without reclaiming control over our emotions. It is a state of spiritual freedom that no material wealth can buy. Modern research supports this wisdom. People who regularly practice acts of kindness and selflessness report higher levels of happiness. Stoicism, with its millennia old teachings, understood this truth well. Forgiveness is not just a moral virtue, but also a path to a fuller, more meaningful life. Take a moment to ask yourself, can I see this situation from their perspective? What might be driving their behavior? Regularly practicing these questions can ease discomfort and foster understanding. When was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything in return? How did it make you feel? Reflecting on these moments can guide you to practice forgiveness daily. Forgiveness doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as being patient with someone's carelessness. Instead of trying to control what's beyond your power, focus on bettering yourself when you show kindness to someone. Be grateful for the opportunity to do so rather than clinging to anger. Seneca beautifully said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Wherever life places you, there's a chance to extend compassion." Choose forgiveness, not just for others, but for yourself. In giving and understanding, you build a better world for both yourself and those around you. Forgiveness is not just an action, it's the key to living freely and peacefully. We've just explored 7 methods to maintain inner peace. And conclusion: remain unaffected by anger or annoyance caused by others. These principles aren't just philosophical musings, they are compasses guiding us toward true inner freedom. By embracing acceptance, you learn to align with life. By letting go of judgment, you free yourself from the burden of bias, relinquishing control, embracing imperfection, taking responsibility for your emotions, and practicing non-reactivity. All these steps lead you closer to genuine self-mastery, and along the way, finding joy and compassion becomes the greatest gift you can give, not just to others, but also to yourself. If you found this video helpful and haven't liked it yet, take a second to do so. It truly helps us spread these positive values. Don't hesitate to share this video with your loved ones, as even a small message can brighten someone's day. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more inspiring content coming your way. Thank you for being here, and see you in the next video.